6 months ago, I transferred all my phals into LECA, and this is the update. So I just want to update you guys on the progress of my Phalaenopsis orchids. They really were on death's door. And y'all, I think, yeah, there's only one that hasn't bloomed. So that's very exciting. I'm gonna show all 8 and kind of like talk about them a little bit. Let's start off with the phal that was in the intro, the Phalaenopsis Miki Japanese Pearl. I'm probably gonna sprinkle in some clips from 6 months ago when I did the transfer, and then I'll show you how they're doing today. I think I'm finally going to try growing some orchids in LECA. And based on what I've heard, there's good and there's bad parts of having a Phalaenopsis in LECA. Oh no. Okay, this one, I'm a little mad, guys, because she was making a comeback and then I just ignored her. Yeah, see, she was making a comeback. Okay, I don't have the name here, but I got this a year ago. She had the most beautiful flowers. Probably my favorite Phalaenopsis blooms. You know, when you're looking at Phalaenopsis roots, when they turn silver or gray, that's when you know that they are dry. I'm just assessing here. So these 3 are totally dry. And so we're just chopping at that point. I think overall, all the other roots are intact. So there's a chance that I'm gonna have to say bye to this leaf over here. She is a bit yellow compared to the other leaves. We'll keep it on for now. If I need to, I'll just cut it off. I'm keeping the water line below the net pot. So for when I talk about propagations, I like to keep the LECA wet. So I always go a third way up. However, for Phalaenopsis, because I said they like a lot of aeration around the roots, I'm not gonna submerge the roots. I know that they don't like that at all. I'm just gonna hit right below here, and that's where the water line is. Okay, this one's exciting because this leaf is growing so fast. This is definitely new. And I'm just looking, digging through the LECA. Yeah, I'm not gonna disturb her. But like, wow. Definitely a new leaf. Oh my gosh, she's so shiny. Okay, we are back, and here's the orchid. She's so pretty. So she pushed out 2 separate spikes here, 1 and 2. There are 4 on this spike over here, and then 5. Oh. Y'all, look at that, it looks so good. 5 on this one, so a total of 9. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this is the new leaf right over here. She either had this before and she just got bigger, or maybe this is just a totally new leaf. It didn't drop any leaves. I think I showed this and how it was dying from the time I ignored her, but yeah, super stunning. The thing I like about phals is that depending, the blooms stay for quite a long time. I want to say that the blooms opened for the first time a month or 2 ago, and they're still here. So look at this. When we're looking at Phalaenopsis flowers, this is one of my favorites, probably my favorite. I just like the speckling, and then, I don't know, she is gorgeous. When I was trying to look up information about this one, there isn't a lot of information out there, like none at all. Like Google this name, there's nothing about it. I don't know if it's like a new hybrid. So yeah, here's the first one. I will talk about my routine with these phals, like how often I change the nutrients, what kind of lighting I gave it, the humidity and temperature. So yeah, here's your yes. Okay, second one. I haven't shown these blooms. I mean, I showed it like 6 months ago. The second orchid is the Phalaenopsis Miki Fortune Cat 72. 6 months ago, she was in bloom already along the main spike, pushed out 2 blooms, then she died off. And then there was another spike coming from the main spike, and she's pushed out 3 flowers. I'm just gonna put these orchids in LECA. This Miki Cat Fortune 74, is that it? 72. So she had this flower. This is the newest one. Look at that pattern, guys. Are you kidding? You know, I usually like repotting when the spike or the flowers have dropped. I'm just kind of scared to put the plant in shock, but a lot of orchid people told me that the blooms will stay for a long time, so you might as well just like do it now. Again, my old method of just keeping it in sphagnum moss. And yeah, let's just take a look at the roots. I'm scared. I already see dead ones. How are you alive? Okay, the bottom part of the moss is a little bit moist. It's doing okay, but the top half, not good. Oh my god, I'm gonna break the flowers. So this is a current status. Not bad. There are some dry ends that are definitely done, but I just want to run it under water first. So these black ones right in the center. So these two. Just touching the root, looking at what color it is, just feeling the ends of a few of these. And just feeling the end, like that is dead. Okay, let me just put that off to the side for now. Okay, look at this one. I am obsessed with these blooms because the pattern always changes. Like you can see with this one, it's a bit like more speckly in the middle, whereas like others, the speckling is like dispersed differently, and even like the outside of the petals. Do you see the difference? And then the third one over here. Look how pretty. I'm obsessed. Are y'all obsessed? This is so beautiful. So 6 months ago, she had a flower. And so I didn't really touch her for a month because I was just scared that it was gonna disrupt or stress out the plant. But then y'all told me that they'll be fine. So I transferred this one into LECA 5 months ago. This is the spike that was there. And then like I said, lower in the plant, pushed out another one. And that's how these 3 came to be. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I usually cut off the spike after the main one has died off just because I think look-wise, and I'm told quality-wise of the blooms, like you'll just have better ones if you have a totally like fresh spike pushing out. But when these were dying off, this one already had buds. So I'm like, why not? We'll just keep it. And I'm glad I did. So striking. Look at these. Okay, I will talk about the conditions of this one just because this one is the only one that's in my living room, which is really totally different environment. So it's really been a big range when it comes to temperature. Let's say the low would be 64 degrees Fahrenheit and the high probably 70. So not warm at all. Humidity 35% to 50. And I guess one of the main differences, with this one is the amount of light it got. So I have her sitting against the west facing window, depending on the season, I guess. So winter, less hours of light. Now into spring with a little bit more hours of light. I want to say it's probably gotten low to medium light. Now I know phals, you don't necessarily need a ton of light, and that's a whole selling point with phals, but I usually like to give my phals more hours of light at least. So yeah. Super gorgeous. Foliage, it's the same. Because this Phalaenopsis has been bloomed really for the past 6 months, or in the process of developing buds, that's where all the energy is going, into the flowers. So once these flowers die off, that's when the plant will focus on foliage and roots. And so here we are. Okay, second plant. Phalaenopsis Miki Fortune Cat 72. Okay, so the third orchid is the Phalaenopsis GW Green World Snakeskin. The next 2 guys, I have no idea what they are. This one might be my GW Green World Snakeskin. So again, taking off the moss. Some of these roots look actually pretty good. You could see the green tips here. They are silver, so definitely need to be hydrated a little bit. And it's the same as, you know, any other plant. You feel the roots. This one's completely dry all the way up to the base here. So I'm just gonna cut. Oh, that hit me in the face. Oh my god. Okay, so we got the majority of them. Again, the roots look pretty good. The leaves feel pretty good too, so this one wasn't that dehydrated. And I'm just noticing, it kind of looks like a root to me. Usually if it was a spike, it would have like 2 like pointy parts. And it still might be young. Actually, I don't know. When I rotate it, you could see a little bit, I don't know. Again, feeling the leaves a lot firmer than before. Obviously, there's a new growth point, so she's doing okay. See, guys, new roots. Oh my god, these are new. So this end over here is definitely new. There's a second one right over there. This one. Whoa. Oh, there's the beginnings here from an old existing root. Look at that. I see one peeking through here. Look how cute. Oh my god, you're doing great. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know which one this one is. Well, we'll just find out when the bloom opens. And okay, here she is. So these blooms just opened, I think a week ago. Well, the first one. this one opened a week ago, and then this one just opened this week. So this one, I mean, it's in the name. Like, the pattern kind of looks like a snakeskin, depending. I've seen ones that actually have more red, kind of like this one, but more. And so, you know, similar to the last one, like this pattern varies. It looks to me that there's only going to be 4. There's 2 more buds up here. And yeah. Look at this. So exciting. When I had this Phalaenopsis in moss, from the time I got it, for probably like a year and a half, she was always in spike, always in bloom. And in my experience, these flowers were bigger before. So I think it's because I ignored all these, I dried them out too much, they had to bounce back, work on all 3 parts, so roots, foliage, and flowers. And so I think the energy is just divided right now between all 3. I'm not sure if this leaf was here before, but it's the newest leaf. Super exciting. Look at these. They look so pretty. So I guess the time between transferring her, so 6 months ago to now, it probably took 5 months for it to push out spike, 4 to 5 months. And yeah, the foliage feels good, so that's good. But do you see how much smaller? I know it's a different kind of orchid, but in my mind and memory, I do remember that these flowers were a bit bigger than these. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plant matures. I think when I got it, and through that year and a half, it was just blooming so much. I think I had a maximum of maybe 6 on one spike. But yeah, do you see the snake pattern? So beautiful. Oh, love it. And okay, Phalaenopsis GW Green World Snakeskin. Okay, the 4th phal is the Phalaenopsis Sogo Yukidian V3, I think. So this is one that I transferred into LECA 5 months ago. And if I have a clip, I'll put it in here. I don't know who are you, but you're here. This leaf is not looking great, but when I feel it, it is hydrated. Again, there's 2 additional leaves, and that's a new growth. That leaf over there. Oh my god, so cute. You can see this root is just like saying hello to everyone. I mean, do you know what? I'm not gonna disturb this one. See, that's a new root that's growing, and you can see the green tip. I'm just gonna have to turn my ring light down. Okay, so here she is. Beautiful. So I think currently there's 5 flowers that are open. This plant is known to have large cascading white flowers on like a single spike. When I got it, it probably, oh my gosh, it had so many. It probably had like 7 maybe. And I know it looks just like, you know, a normal white orchid that you get in the grocery store, but this one specifically is known to having what I said, so the larger than average blooms. I do find that these are smaller than when I initially got it, but yeah, it looks to me there's 2 more buds at the very end. And so look at this. Oh, phals are just so beautiful. Look at this. I'm obsessed. I think I really like the centers and also the backs. The backs are like pinky purpley. Look at these. I don't know. I like it a lot. So foliage wise, I don't think there's anything different. I think this leaf was here already. And like I said, when there's a spike coming out, the energy is kind of focused into the blooms rather than the roots and foliage. So yeah, I'm excited once these blooms die off, I cut the spike to see how big the foliage gets. So Phalaenopsis, Phalaenopsis Sogo Yukidian V3. Okay, the 5th Phalaenopsis. I think I've been saying the name wrong. I just googled the pronunciation of this. Anyhow, Phalaenopsis LED Trinity. I'm not sure. Okay. This one over here is a Phalaenopsis LED Trinity. So this bloomed for me. It has the cutest blooms. And the moss is very crispy. I don't know if you could hear that, but I'm just gonna take it off and then we're just gonna put her into LECA. And before that, I'm gonna see if there's any dry roots. I could already see some. And I'm probably gonna cut a few leaves just at the base. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, people say to keep the spikes if they're still hydrated and healthy, even though there's no flowers. These are definitely dried out. They will not push any more blooms. So I'm just cutting closest to the base here, and the same here. And there's some dead ends over here. I'm just cutting them off as well. And because I want to submerge all the roots, this leaf, I'm just gonna take it off even though she's okay. And so now I can fully submerge all of these roots into the LECA. Okay, here she is, guys. So here they are. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Okay, so there's 2 spikes. I think these orchids tend to push out at least 2 at a time. Let me know if that's wrong, but look at these. They're really hard to tell because a lot of the petals are like going like that. I don't know. So I'm pretty sure this orchid is considered like a peloric orchid? I don't know. Meaning it has to do with the symmetry, like it's what's the word? Radially symmetric in either the petals or the shape or the color. Anyhow, it's so pretty. Okay, I tend to gravitate towards the orchids that don't have a sense. So as far as I know, and y'all know that I'm bad with describing scents, but I don't think the other ones have a strong scent. I think this is the only one that has. It's not strong, but I can definitely smell something. Oh, it's just nice. I don't know. I'm so bad at explaining scents, y'all. Oh, it's so nice. Not overpowering, sweet, but floral. Oh my god. I used to like take a class at describing what flowers smell like because I suck at it. Anyhow, she's here. She's a little cutie. Look how small. Like, she is tiny. So, look at this. Wow. Wow. Okay, so the 5th plant in bloom, the Phalaenopsis, Leo's Berry Trinity. Okay, so the next 2 were in bloom earlier this year. If y'all watch my videos, y'all have seen them, but they are no longer in bloom. The first one is the Phalaenopsis Mituo Diamond Panda. This is the second one. So look at this. Wow, wow, wow. Don't know which one this is, I'm gonna be honest. I lost the tag and I was like, I have no idea who you are. Okay, I might have to wet this because the moss is just like, let me just try pulling actually. There's so many roots. Are they all healthy? No. We got the majority off. I already see some dry ones, but I always like to run them underwater to see like what color the roots change, because that's kind of like a telling sign if they're still okay, if you don't know which ones to keep or not. So again, just water on the roots. Okay, so they're much greener now, but do you see what I mean? Like, you can see more clearer. This brown one, for example, is done. So I'm just gonna cut just right in the center there. Okay, interesting thing, guys, because like I still feel weird about this, but so this root, you can see that there is like a really dried part here. Roots have different layers, I guess, but you can see that the bottom part is still healthy, it's green, it is pushing out new growth. And so it's weird because people say to keep it and like hope that it'll be okay. Because here's a different situation. Just as long as this part is attached and the bottom part is alive, then you keep it. However, in this case, this one's totally dead, so we're gonna cut it. What a weird plant. Okay, look at that. We're looking good. Look at these roots, guys. They look so good. Okay, let me just grab my LECA. I'm just gonna have to monitor this one to make sure it's not so wet. God, you're not even gonna fit. I mean, you'll fit, but I mean, are you happy? So again, I didn't submerge it so deep. It's okay that there's some roots. You saw how big the root system was. And I'm just gonna run water and hope for the best. Miss Phalaenopsis Mituo Diamond Panda. I just want to show you her because the last bloom at the end has finally opened, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm so excited to see it. Again, the plum purple against the cream. And this is the news. Guys. She's just stunning. Like I've said with the mini mark, I got this one from Crystal Star Nursery. Roehampton Orchids from time to time does have this. Yeah, I don't know. Phalaenopsis, they're actually very easy to bloom. I made a New Year's goal or resolution or whatever to have all my Phalaenopsis bloom. So far I've had 3. So the honorable mention is the Phalaenopsis Mituo Diamond Panda. And okay, I'll show you what she looks like now. So I'll show you what it looks like now. Don't fall. Oh, it's falling. I'm holding it. So ever since... Okay, it's doing this because I'm pretty sure there's new roots in here and it's pushing the LECA up as the new roots grow, like it's displacing that space. Okay, hold on. I just like don't want to step on any. So yeah, ever since she dropped or I cut off the spike, she's pushed out this really healthy looking leaf, which is nice. This is probably the only phal that I had that had relatively like okay leaves. Even though I ignored it so much. I did cut the spike a little bit prematurely. I like to cut a spike off when like the two oldest blooms are like dying off or dead. Just because again, I wanna like focus on the foliage and the root growth. And I mean, I enjoyed, you know, the look of these flowers like while they lasted. And I mean, you can tell like this, I'm pretty sure this is like newer. And then like there is a new root coming out there. And I've said this before, and I feel like I say this all the time, but it's one of my favorite Phalaenopsis flowers that I have. Again, not in bloom currently. I cut off the spike, but it gave me a spike with a bunch of flowers. The last one here. They all look the same because none of them have flowers except for this one. Ooh, these ones are really dry. Oh my God, there's moss everywhere. So I'm just removing the moss. Okay, wait. Let me interrupt this emotional deep moment. There is a spike that was hiding under. The LECA's rolling. Okay, wow. So there's a root and a spike side by side. So I want to show you the difference. Okay, this one right in the center, that is a spike. Do you see how it's like pointy at the top? The one next to it is a root, which has a rounded top. But there it is. Okay, so that is really exciting. And here we are. I'm very excited. I know Phalaenopsis don't necessarily need, you know, higher light conditions. They usually thrive at medium-ish light conditions. I think I'm still gonna pop them under grow light just because of the transfer. I don't think I'm gonna touch this one, but I'm pretty sure this is the mini mark because look how, remember the last time there was a spike? Look how much it's grown. I'm so excited. Again, feeling the leaves, they feel fantastic. I do see healthy roots down there, so we're just gonna leave her. The main reason why the mini mark is on my list, obviously the flowers are gorgeous, but there are so many that have opened on this spike. Oh my God. Wow, okay. Do you see these flowers, guys? Are you kidding? Oh my God, they're everywhere. Look, so pretty. Do y'all think it's pretty? Oh my God, okay. I don't even know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. This is the newest one. So I think because she's under a grow light, the orange is starting to bleach a little bit on the older blooms. So again, this is the newest one. You could see how deep the orange is as opposed to like, for example, the new bloom. I mean, the old bloom. You can see that it's a more pale orange. I'm pretty sure that these couple blooms right over here first opened in, it might be the end of January, beginning of February, but I'm seriously, obviously there's no guarantee that these will open. Sometimes like if it's done, they'll just drop off, but there's 2 more buds. So like potentially there's gonna be 13 blooms on this if the oldest one doesn't die off. You know, I just really like the purple dots on the white. And then the dark orange. It is just super stunning. And you see all these? That is insane. Or I keep the reservoir for my orchids just hitting the wicks. So the reservoir isn't even touching the black part. I know it looks like it is, but because I've been lifting it and moving it, like the reservoir is like swooshing, but I just put enough so it's hitting the wicks. You never want to fully suffocate your orchid's roots because they are true epiphytic plants. And yeah, I'm just thrilled. This is insane. I can actually see a new leaf coming finally because y'all know that I've struggled because I let this plant dry out too much. So you can see that the leaves are just like not doing, you know, the best. And so it's going to be exciting for the summertime because I'm pretty sure phals, they focus on foliage during the summertime. I don't know if y'all can see. There's like a bright green and that's a new leaf. If you're in the GTA, I know consistently throughout the year, or even Canada because they ship worldwide, Crystal Star Nursery from time to time has this orchid. Also Roehampton Orchids here in Toronto. So yeah, just super gorgeous. I don't know. I'm in love with this orchid. Yeah, it's just incredible how many cute little flowers. Are you kidding me? It's so cute. Okay, so this is her currently. So y'all saw the blooms. This is what, I'm like kicking the LECA. This is what she looks like now. So I think this is new. It looks new. I don't remember seeing that previously. And there are a few new roots popping out, which is nice. So do you see that? Oh, they're so healthy. There's one on the other side here. And yeah, what a cutie. Those flowers are just beautiful and cute. And I couldn't believe how many flowers came out on that spike. Anyhow, so that's the Phalaenopsis mini mark. Okay, the last phal is one that hasn't bloomed yet. I cannot believe I'm saying this. And I know that phals are usually easy to bloom at least once a year, but I'm like shocked that all of them, except for this one, have bloomed like in the first half of this year. But the last one is the Phalaenopsis Sogo Diamond HLW. Okay, next guys, this was the one that was neglected by the window. So this leaf is probably gonna go soon. This leaf has perked up so much and there is a new one coming. Okay, there are signs of new roots. What's this though? So look at this new root that is latched onto the LECA, and then the one beside it. And then the third one right over there, guys. Okay. She doesn't look that much different. I think when I got her, she was a younger plant. Like you can see that it's still happening. Okay, you can see that the two leaves over here were already that small. And I think in the summertime, I either got it in spike or she pushed out a spike and therefore the plant couldn't focus on the foliage. So now, like, this is definitely new, guys. That is a brand new leaf. She feels fantastic. She looks good. She's relatively bigger than the other ones. I might put a clip of what the flowers look like. I really, really, really love these flowers. They're so striking. I guess similar to the cat one, or I don't know. I feel like it's pink. I'm like forgetting. I think it's pink. Anyhow, super exciting. And yeah, Phalaenopsis Sogo. Oops. Phalaenopsis Sogo Diamond HLW. So, conditions. And like really my routine with these phals in LECA. I've said this before, there's good and bad when you have a phal in LECA, just because LECA, unfortunately, like it's known to holding on to like salt. And when it comes to phals, that's not good for the plant's roots. So yeah, that's what I'm told is a downside with having Phalaenopsis in LECA. The nutrient solution that I use was this. So I use general hydroponics. It's just my single strength of the Flora Micro Grow and Bloom, CalMag, Diamond Nectar, Rapid Start, and Hydroguard. I do want to say that I do think this is kind of overkill. I've read a lot of like research journals and papers about how the phosphorus level doesn't necessarily need to be high in order for your phal to bloom. I think it has to do with more so temperature. And so I do think this is too much just based on what I've researched and what I've read. So yeah, that's my nutrient solution. And okay, we're gonna bring you back. What was that sound? Did y'all hear that? Maybe not, because the mic is here. There's a ghost. Right when I'm not looking, something happens behind me. So let's bring her back. How often do I change a nutrient solution? So for me, I'm changing the nutrient solution every month. Now, with the rest of my collection, now that it's warmer, I've been changing the nutrient solution every 2 weeks. So these are self-watering pots, and the majority of my phals are in these. What I'm doing, and I said this before, I'm only filling the reservoir up to the wicks. So when it's in here, the water or nutrient solution is only hitting here. It's not going past the net pot and the LECA where the roots are. Phals do not like sitting in water or nutrient solution or anywhere that it's like so wet. Like those roots basically drown and rot. And I have heard from people who have tried growing phals in LECA, they've experienced that when the water level is too high. So yeah, humidity wise, I mean, again, 35% to now it's getting warmer. My thing is saying 55%. I don't think it's the most important. I think obviously phals in nature, they grow in super, super high humid like conditions. And I think it's important in that aspect because, again, Phalaenopsis, they are epiphytic. They grow on tree trunks, they grow on tree branches, and so they need the humidity in the air to be higher on average. Temperature, okay. The temperature in this room has been between 65 degrees Fahrenheit to about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Based on what I've read, there was a traditional thought that a difference in temperature between day and night really impacted or initiated like spike growth, blooms. Let me know, y'all, if that has been debunked yet again. But apparently they conducted research studies and that's not true. For me, at night for about 10 hours, it's consistently 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And during the day, it's between 67 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So not like a huge difference. I have heard though that when the temperatures are really high, I think it's above 29 degrees Fahrenheit. No. That's cold. 29 degrees Celsius, that's when you inhibit spike initiation. And okay, let's move on to lastly, the lighting. 7 out of 8 of my Phalaenopsis have been under grow lights. Kind of started all of them under this grow light. So I use the Sunblaster LED grow lights right over here. And although they're relatively close to these plants, they're off to the side. So placement is key when it comes to grow lights. So you can see there's nothing in the center. You can see that here. You can see that over here. But based on what I've read, the range in foot candles is usually between 500 foot candles to 1500 foot candles. They do say that above 1500 foot candles, when it's warm and it's for a long period of time, it does bleach the leaves. So I wouldn't go over 1500. That's why I've pushed these orchids to the side of the shelf. I think at the very top, they're getting like 1500. So yeah, I would say 500 to 1500 foot candles is like the perfect range for Phalaenopsis. I guess one more thing, LECA can kind of hold on to like the salts. I have been flushing the mediums once a month just to make sure there's no excess. And I don't know if I'm missing anything, but I guess that's it. Again, I am no expert when it comes to Phalaenopsis or just orchids in general. I'm definitely a beginner, especially when it comes to growing these in LECA. I just want to share the experience, also keep like a personal diary of like the progress of these phals so I can look back in the future and see what I did. I like to experiment. I could see how things grow in my conditions. Yeah, have y'all tried growing phals in LECA? What's your experience? Again, I have a Patreon, so I want to thank everyone in my Strawberry Shake tier and my LECA Drop tier, but a very special thanks to everyone in my Monstera Burley Marks Flame tier, Janice Upton, Crystal, Margot T, Rose Ramos, Stomer Croy, Corlin Walters, Gina Alexandra, Carlos Holling, Blaine B, Sam Pennypacker, Daniel Wilcox, Casey Gross, Francesco, Dana Nelson, Linda Marks, Soda Rocks, Remy Pavila, Simone Elizabeth, Lisa Mata, Danny Alley, Marnie McCallum, Gerda, Stephanie McGinnis, Kendra Prom, Ryan Jones, Alicia D, Courtney Evans, and I want to welcome a new member in this Lobster Claw tier, Kiki in the Garden. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!